Crikey, would you look at that beauty? That's a J50 class tank engine, one of 102 built between 1913 and 1939. If it gets a hold of anything explosive, it's the most dangerous thing in the world. At least to itself. I'm gonna go touch it.
Down south in North Carolina, Chadson fills in for Spot taking the morning commuters. Spot took a very inebriated bunch of pool hall patrons home last night and is still getting cleaned out. Chadson takes the opportunity to liven up the commute with his phonograph. The J50 exits the yard because something touched him. The Ivet mogul approaches the 5600 and asks what happened to the special water wagons. The 5600 says she doesn't know. She left them by a coal mine on the trolley line at Statesville, but by the evening they were gone. The standard 4MT 10-wheeler says the freight motor probably moved them somewhere else on the trolley line, but no one pays attention because no one likes the standard class engines. In Asheville, an unmarked steam locomotive rolls into the yard. He asks the Ginty and Black 5 if they know who he is. The Ginty has no clue. The Black 5 says that the locomotive looks a little familiar, but she can't place him. The Ginty and the Black 5 couple onto a freight train bound for Spencer Yard and head eastbound. The unmarked locomotive, not having any better ideas, follows the freight train eastward. Ferry Battle has been brought out of the Roundhouse and is being readied to take a train. Steve Irvan enters the engine facility and wants to poke the Castle class. Ferry Battle sees what he believes to be a German.
Oh, he's hungry.
Lion arrives in town pulling some auto rack cars. Lion passes the GP40 and asks if this is up-to-date enough. The GP40 does not know what to make of this. Sheriff Panko arrives with... Sheriff Panko arrives with yet another new assistant, a Pennsylvania Railroad F7 B unit. Unfortunately, B units are just boosters and not used to leading trains. The B unit got confused and went down the wrong track, resulting in a minor collision with a cliff. The B unit has the hang of this now, though, and heads up the mountain as planned. The Ginty and the Black 5 arrive in the yard with their freight train. The unmarked steam engine also arrives. The unmarked engine stops by the trolley interchange and asks Chadson over the ruckus, "Do you know who I am?" Chadson replies that the engine service yard is where he'll find the ash pan. The engine asks a little more loudly if Chadson knows who the unmarked engine is. Chadson tells the engine he's a good old American trolley, just like Chadson. The steam engine follows his new friend down the trolley tracks. Sheriff Panko arrives in Statesville, where he is flagged down by a CSX SD7 diesel. The SD7 says he has a lead on an illegal screwdriver. Intrigued, the sheriff follows the SD7. The Black Five settles down in the diesel yard for a nice rest, much to the chagrin of St. Lawrence, who is afraid the Black Five will blow his cover and tries to shoo her away. The unmarked locomotive is happily rolling down the trolley tracks, but has a little difficulty when he reaches the sharp turnaround loop by Salisbury Station. The locomotive is starting to wonder if the red, white, and blue trolley really knew what he was talking about. In Majolica, the B unit takes another wrong turn. Sheriff Panko asks if the B unit even has a license to lead a train. The B unit admits he doesn't. Sheriff Panko is about to make another arrest. A lawyer FP7 diesel from the law firm of Southern & Southern arrives and asks the sheriff if he checked out the B unit's credentials before bringing him on as a deputy. The sheriff admits he did not. The FP7 says in this case the fault is not the B units, but the sheriff's. The sheriff agrees to let the B unit go and finds another ride. FP7s are naturally adept at being lawyers, being passenger versions of the F7 diesel locomotive equipped with steam generators to provide heat to passenger cars. They always have an ample supply of hot air ready to go. The SD7 brings the sheriff to the illegal screwdriver, which turns out to be nothing more than someone coupling an orange juice car to a pair of wine cars. The SD7 says a proper legal screwdriver is orange juice and vodka. The sheriff is not amused. Spot, finally cleaned out and ready for service, comes online and tells Chadson to shut his phonograph off. The Ivet Mogul asks Spot if he knows what happened to the special water wagons. Spot says they're parked over by the pool hall, and the pool hall patrons helped themselves last night. That made for a ride home almost no one remembers, and the ones that do remember want to forget. The Standard 4 says, "Told you so," but no one is listening. The Ivet gets ready to go down the trolley line to retrieve the wagons, but the Black Five is already on her way. Black Fives can go anywhere, they say. The Black Five takes the wagons and stashes them on the far side of the Roundhouse. Lion passes through town again, this time with a load of containers. The Southern Pacific Jivo is genuinely concerned he's about to see an old locomotive disintegrate in front of him. The unmarked locomotive continues his quest to find out where he comes from. Perhaps he will soon find his way back to Canada, where the moose play and the maple syrup... I said nothing. All right. You're a Canadian, Harry. A Canadian Pacific D10 class locomotive, to be specific. The D10 is thrilled to be Canadian, but terrified to realize he's holding a gun. The D10 knows what his first act as a Canadian must be: to find that which all Canadians hold sacred.